Did you know that if you save 1 Kenya shillings on day 1, 2 Kenya shillings on day 2, 3 Kenya shillings on day 3, 4 Kenya shillings on day 4, all the way to 364 Kenya shillings on day 364, you will end up having about 66,000 Kenya shillings. I also didn't believe that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Simboni. Today, I want to talk about such an interesting challenge. A challenge that was suggested to me by one of my members in the microfinance, PSAKEI. Now, PSAKEI is a close friend of mine. We schooled together in the university. He also did maths and computer science. And for some reasons, that is what inspired him to the very challenge. So he told me about that challenge, but I didn't believe it. Well, not because I don't know the maths, but it looked so good to be true. It looked so, it was like a mystery. So I went and did some fact checking. I went and did some maths, and it is indeed true. And I think it's something. It has something to do with the arithmetic progression. If you are interested with the maths part of it, but nonetheless, I honored the challenge, and most of the members in my microfinance are up to the challenge. And currently, as we speak, we have garnered about 250,000, and we have about 80 members who are actively participating in the challenge. This is not the first challenge that I'm doing that is related to savings. We did many other challenges. I remember the very first challenge I did was with Frank. Again, Frank is one of my best guys. We work together, we hang out together. We share a lot in common. So what we did with Frank is we decided to swap the accounts. I used to save on Frank's account, and Frank used to save on my account. So we made a challenge where we could save a particular amount of money for a particular period of time. To be more specific, it was about 300 days. Fortunately or unfortunately, we did not achieve 100% goal completion. I think we were at 80%, both of us, and it was very fulfilling, which led us to do even another challenge. But now this time with more members. I have this community. It's called the Brochure Community. It's a very great community with like-minded individuals. One day I will introduce you guys to them. We now did with about 20 members. And again, the goal was to save a particular amount every day until we reached 300 days. Let's say, for example, we were saving maybe 300,000. I'm not saying that categorically. But now that we were more in terms of the numbers, it was a challenge to many. About 20% reached 50% plus goal completion. Many did not make it. In fact, many were under 10%. A few were above 80%. And surprisingly, there are some who reached the target. That is 100% goal completion. So, assuming you are saving 300,000 in 300 days, and when you hit 50% goal completion, that is 150,000 Kenya shillings. If you hit 80% goal completion, that is about 250,000 Kenya shillings. So basically what you're trying to say here, you just have to take part in the challenge, be part of the game. Even in the PSAKEI challenge, some will lose focus along the way. Some will give up, but nonetheless, others will continue. And that is the beauty side of it. So the question is, in the end of the challenge, where will you be? Will you be on the side which will be rejoicing, or will you be on the side which will be regretting? That is, again, totally under your control. And what I want to point out specifically on this challenge, these types of challenges, that you need to set goals, especially in terms of savings. Many people start to save without a definite goal. And this becomes a problem because anytime they can withdraw the funds. We have three basic variables here in all the savings. We have the amount that you have to set for yourself. I want to save maybe amount X. And then you have the timeline. How long do I want to save? And then, of course, the sources of income. Where am I getting money in order to participate in this challenge? We have other variables like who are you taking this challenge with? Because to do it alone is very tricky. You need to get some psych. You need to get some energy. You need to get some motivation, especially when you're doing it with Frank. I did it with Frank. We reached 80% goal completion. We introduced it to even 20 people, which it was fun. Most of us reached 50% plus goal completion. Now we are doing it with an even bigger number, which is now the PSAKEI Walters Challenge. About 80 people are participating. So make sure you have a timeline for your goal. Make sure you have the amount that you want to achieve towards that particular goal, and make sure you define the sources of income. The goal here is not to reach 100%. It doesn't make sense, of course, for most people, and that's not the point either. We just want you to be in the game. We want you to challenge yourself. We want you to map yourself against your other peers, because this anchoring technique will ensure that you are actually participating in something without giving up. When you're doing it alone, in a spur of a moment, you can actually lose. You can actually withdraw. You can actually give up and all that. But now doing it in a group, I think that has a lot to do with the discipline. It has a lot to do with the motivation. And the reason why I'm insisting on this particular challenge is because I understand that saving is a bit difficult. And just by saving a shilling, 2 shillings, 3 shillings, all the way to 364 shillings until you accomplish your goal, then what that simply means is you get ready for even bigger kind of challenge. For instance, I started with Frank, then we went to 20 members, and now we are 80 members. And all these try to project your life. How much can you do in a year? How much can you do in a particular amount of time? So whenever you want to do something, you can always use the same model. You can always use the same concept and approach and follow through the goal. So I really appreciate PSAKEI Walter for coming up with that challenge. If you were to participate in this challenge, I think today is day 90 of the year, if I'm not wrong. And the current balance is 4,095. If the member, if you are consistent in this challenge. So if you are to join the challenge today, then you would have to save you'll have to start with at least 4,095 shillings. And then tomorrow you save 91 shillings. The next day you save 92 shillings, 93 shillings, all the way to 364 shillings. If you are consistent and you tag along this kind of people, you will end up with 66,000 Kenya shillings at the end of the year. So if you want to know more information about this challenge, if you want to participate on this challenge, I'll leave my number in the description. I'll send you the application to the microfinance, and I will also add you to the group so that you get psyched up and motivated towards this challenge. Thank you very much. See you in the next episodes.